We're going to walk in the room and we're going to say hello to the young man who killed our son.
And as he was about to go out, he did something he'd never done before. He kissed me on the forehead and told me he loved me. Little did I know they're going to be the last words I'll ever hear from his mouth. Then 20 to 1 in the morning, my doorbell rings. But instead of Chris and Phil, there's 2 policemen. They said Chris has been involved in a fight. He's seriously injured and need to get swept from the hospital straight away. When we got to the hospital, I asked Phil what happened. He said Christopher came to his shop. He worked in another pizza shop. And they had some peace, laugh and a joke. It's about 12ish now. And Chris said, shall we get a minicab to Jill's house? Phil said, no, let's walk. It's a lovely summer's evening. Then as they're walking further down this road, they're coming towards a hill. They're coming the opposite way of the hill with 14 boys and girls out of their head and drinking drugs, more drugs than drink. And as they got closer, they opened up to let them through. Philip went through first. The youngest one wanted respect from his friends, punched Philip so hard in the face his nose ended up on his cheek. The pain was so severe he collapsed. 2 boys started stamping on his head. Christopher went to save his brother. There was a bit of a fight. They backed him onto this main road as they're fighting. Another coward got behind him. They got him on the floor until penalty shots to his face and head. Then a woman shouted the police are coming. They all started to run, and the girl went to get Chris out the road, and the oldest boy said, leave him there. By saying that, it became murder. So they all ran, left Chris. A car came over the hill. He saw Chris on the road. He swerved round him. Another car came behind him. She had no time. She ran over him. The bell caught on her exhaust pipe. She dragged him 40 metres down the road. Then 20 to 4 in the morning, when you see the doctors, the police, and the hospital chaplain, when they walked in the room, their faces told us. Chris died that morning because one 15-year-old coward wanted respect from his friends. We're taken to our friend's house, and in the car I turned to Vi, and I said, you know what? As Christians, we're going to have to forgive the boys that did this.
Getting in the car, Ray said we might have to forgive them. Oh boy, I'm hitting the roof, I'm screaming. Don't talk to me about that. What I was really doing was hanging on to the rage and the anger, and because I thought it was going to give me power over them at the time. It felt good. What I realised later is it's not good, it's destroying me.
Then we had to go to court, didn't we?
Yeah, that was the worst, knowing that you're going to actually see these young men that did this to Chris.
So one boy pleaded guilty to, I think it was GBH. He got a £100 fine, £200 cross for breaking Philip's glasses. The other 3 were charged with murder. I looked at Vi and I said to her, look around, there's no winners. As far as I'm concerned, the only winners in the case are the lawyers. There's no winners.
You know, you realise over the time that if you don't put the glass of poison down of unforgiveness, you just keep drinking it. And it destroys you. Ray always said to me, Vi, they can't have the rest of my life. I won't let it. I won't let them do that.
They took Chris and not taking me. It's coming to their term of coming out of prison, so we're meeting when they come out of prison. So no one can say they're meeting us to get time off. We paused in the car park and I turned to them and I went, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to do this?
It felt quite bizarre. We're going to walk in the room and we're going to say hello to the young man who killed our son.
The handle goes down and in he walks. And the first thing I noticed, he had a shirt, tie, suit, polished shoes and haircut. That's respect. So I just got up and come here. He walked over, put his arms around me, whispered thank you. He then looked at Vi like a baby and said, may I, didn't he?
May I hug you? Yeah, come on in. 26 years old, not 15 anymore. And he still looks like this little boy. And so I give him a hug and I say, hey, young man. He went, what? I said, we forgive you. Move on and have the future. Have the life Chris can't have. So I've learnt now to put the glass of poison down. But sometimes, just sometimes, like we go to his grave, I'll pick it back up again and I'll get angry. And you probably can hear it in my voice. We get angry. So we've got to keep putting it down. That's the legacy. That's the ripple effect they've left in our lives, that we've got to keep doing this. We can't all go back and change the past. We can't. Chris won't come alive again. But we can all change the future, can't we? We can get better. We get to move on a bit, you know. Chris used to say, bad things happen, just get on with it, Mum. Well, that's exactly what we do now. We live our life the way he wanted it, yeah. That's the best.